And we're going to begin by actually removing this whole bottom plate here that's actually holding on to the capacitor along with the main ICU board. So we're going to go start off by removing these 3 screws on this side and only 2 on the other, so a total of 5 screws. So let's get those out, and then we're going to move this plate aside. Okay, now that we have all 5 screws off of the plate so that we can actually go and take it off, the next thing we're actually going to have to do is remove another 5 screws, and 4 are actually on the board itself. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2 on each side and 1 ground wire. So we're going to go ahead and get these 5 screws out, and we're going to set aside the actual ICU board and go ahead and get that plate out so we can gain access to the control switch and the light bulbs. Okay, now that we've removed all the 5 screws that hold the plate, and along with the other 5 screws that hold the ICU board and the ground wire, we're going to go ahead and set those aside and move the ICU board out the way. Next step is to actually go ahead and disconnect the control switch harness. Alright, so now you got it out of the way. Now we can go ahead and simply route or guide this plate out of the way. So I'm going to start by lifting it, sliding it out. And when you're working in this area, you're going to want to make sure that you are taking precautions, as some of these areas might be sharp. So make sure that you're wearing protective gloves. And what we can do is actually just go ahead and slide this out. So we can actually go ahead and set this aside. And now we have access to all the internals. If you want, we can actually go ahead and hand this back over here. But now we're actually going to have access to the control switch and to the LED lights. Okay, now we're actually going to go ahead and replace the control switch that is sitting right here. It's actually being held in by 2 screws, 1 and 2, as you can see right here, 1 and 2. And again, just for reference, this is the front of the range hood, this is the front of the control switch, and we're actually giving you an aerial shot of the back of the control switch. So like I said, we're going to remove these 2 screws on the side. Once we get those out, we can actually go ahead and remove the control switch. For this part, we already have the harness removed, but in your case, if it's not removed, then you would just disconnect the harness and remove the control switch. Okay, now we have both screws removed. Now we can actually go ahead and then work out the whole control switch. And we'll grab it from each side, lift it out. And we just showed you before it was connected, but now it's connected, so we'll just show you what the harness actually looks like. Now we're just going to go ahead and disconnect the harness. And as you can see, the harness has been disconnected. And now we can go ahead and replace the control switch.